What if I told you that if you listen to classical music for just 10 minutes a day, that you would get A's in all of your classes instantly? I wish I could tell you this were true. However, there have been studies that have been done that prove that by listening to classical music for just 10 minutes a day, your cognitive abilities will increase, therefore making it easier for you to do better in your classes. Hello, my name is Stephanie Bray, and today I'm going to go over what is known as the Mozart effect. For years, scientists and musicians have been coming together to study the effects of classical music and its impact on the cognitive abilities of the brain. These studies have proven very interesting, and none more interesting than what is known as the Mozart effect. First off, today I will be going over classical music and its effect on newborns and young children, and then I will be covering classical music and its effect on older adults. Now that I've gone over what I will be covering, let's get into classical music and its effect on young children. My sources for my first topic are news.bbc.co.uk and www.telegraph.co.uk. Everyone has heard about the theory that listening to classical music while your child is still in the womb will make your child instantly smarter than every other child. I've not seen any scientific results for this. However, there are results showing that newborns that are exposed to classical music seem to be calmer than those who are not exposed to classical music. So for those of you who have young children who seem to be a little bit rambunctious and rowdy, can't get to sleep, I would suggest perhaps exposing them to a little bit of classical music and seeing if it works. Children who are in school who are exposed to classical music, music lessons, violin, piano, or just general music class also have been proven to have higher IQs than those who do not have any kind of music in their school system. Continued exposure to classical music shows a significant increase in cognitive development in young children. Now, this stresses the importance that music has on young children and the school system. Those children who do not have any exposure to music do not develop cognitively as much as those who do have music classes. So I want to emphasize the importance that music classes do have on children. Now that we've gone over classical music and its effect on children, let's now get into classical music and the effects that it has on adults and the Mozart effect study. My sources for my second topic are www.newscientist.com and lrs.ed.uiuc.edu. So let's begin by talking about the Mozart effect. You heard me talk about this a little bit at the beginning of my speech. A professor from the University of Wisconsin called Professor Fran Rauscher did a study on college students. They basically took the college students, had them do a test, and then split them up into two groups. The one group studied for another test by listening to Mozart's sonata while they studied. The other group listened to whatever they wanted, rap, pop music, anything they wanted, they can listen to it while they studied. They brought the students back and found that those who listened to Mozart's sonata while they studied did significantly better than those who listened to pop music and rap music while they studied. This study exploded, and all kinds of people did their own studies to see if they could duplicate the same results. And students across the country decided to buy Mozart and just listen to it without studying and see if they could do better on their tests. I will tell you the key to this theory is study while you listen to classical music. Now, another study that was interesting was done on rats. A group of scientists took rats, exposed some to white noise and some to classical music. By doing so, the rats who listened to classical music did the same maze as the other rats, faster and with fewer mistakes than the rats who just listened to white noise. All these studies have proven that your brain will function just a little bit better if you listen to classical music for just 10 minutes out of your day while you study for a test. Now, I'm not promising that by listening to classical music you will instantly get an A, but I am just suggesting if you are having trouble, maybe you try it yourself and see if you get any results. It's worth a shot. Now that I've covered the effects of classical music and adults, and the effects of classical music and what it has on children, let's now conclude. Today I've gone over some of the very basics of the Mozart effect. If this interests you at all, I suggest you research it yourself and see some of the more comprehensive results that came out of this study. They're very interesting and worth your time, I promise. If you have young children yourself and they're at a school that is thinking of cutting music out of its programs because of budget cuts, I urge you to try and fight that. Music is an essential part of a child's education, and it is shown to improve cognitive abilities and help children learn throughout their school years. And once again, if you yourself are having problems with classes, I would suggest listening to classical music. As a fellow musician, I know it's helped me throughout my life, maybe not with my speech, but I know that it does have some effect on your learning. I hope you all enjoyed my speech today, and thank you very much for your time.